When did you first realize you were really strange?
Pretty early on. Well, it's one of those things we all feel, you're either, going through school, you're either an insider or you're an outsider or whatever. I never wanted to be, I definitely never wanted to be inside because I found those people pretty boring and pretty monotonous, and they thought about things like, obsessed on sports scores and things like that. So I never considered myself outside. I just didn't consider myself inside. So I just sort of did what I did. So I reckon it was probably around the age of, probably 9 or 10, when, let's say, the circus kicked in.
Okay, but you lasted a while. You lasted until you were 15 before you left school, right?
Yeah, and it was tough.
Yeah, but I know you weren't a stellar student, but there was a book. You were telling me, I think there's a book that when you were thinking about yourself that impacted on you.
Well, you get to a point, if you're feeling pretty strange from the age of 9 to the age of 15, we think of that in terms of 6 years, and it's a bird song. But 6 years at that point in your life is quite a long period to mull over that you're potentially insane and you're going to end up in a bug house. So I had this brilliant idea. I wouldn't read a thing that they gave me in school. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't, because I had teachers. I just never felt they were particularly interested in teaching. They never gave me the feeling that they wanted to teach me anything. It was sort of by the numbers. So I searched out a book in the library, and it was called Abnormal Psychology in Modern Life. And I read it cover to cover to try to, I suppose, diagnose myself or whatever. Worst thing I could have ever done. Worst thing I could have ever done. Because when I finished that book, I realized I was screwed.
Okay, and then you didn't go and become an actor. You know what? Didn't we agree we'd take these off so that people could see your beautiful face?
Oh.
There we go. Okay. I had to. Okay.
I wouldn't say beautiful is the line.
I don't know. I think there's some people who disagree with you. Most people are looking at me, so they probably don't even notice you. But it's
I agree. That's what I'd be doing. Plus the red shoes,
It's the red shoe. I had to do something. I knew I'd have to do something to compete. But you went and you went to play music when you quit school. You didn't go to become an actor.
Well, I started playing the guitar at the age of 12. I felt a passion for it that, it was the first real passion that I had, and I can safely say, because I felt then that the word ambition has become dirty,
Yeah.
because ambition somehow implies that the result. I know. I know. Cry. I'll probably be crying in about 10 minutes. So ambition was a dirty word to me because it felt like you were working for some gain or material or some status. So I literally don't remember going through puberty because I locked myself in a room at the age of 12, 13, and just played the guitar, learned things off records, and taught myself how to play. And it was my life. And it was the only solace. It was the only sanctuary. It was the only security. It was my first love.
Now you draw now too. Did you draw then as well? Have you always been drawing as well?
Yeah, I always did. From a very, very young age, I felt a great need to occupy my brain, because otherwise, if I didn't force information in there or distract myself from the circus, that I would go mad. And so I did everything. I dug a tunnel in my backyard that would go into my closet so that I could escape and get in and out. True story. My parents weren't particularly happy about it, but I was proud. I was proud of it.
But but acting. Well, I think we'll get to why acting may have been the perfect outlet for you. But what's interesting to me, the other day you were talking to me and we said that you don't, so you musician, actor, artist in that sense, but you say you don't consider yourself an artist.
No.
And you said acting and art are like an oxymoron or something?
Well, certainly the term serious actor, which you hear a lot, people say, I want to be a serious actor. And you just look at them and go, oh man. You're missing it. You're missing it. It's all right. Read Stanislavski. It's great. Read Eric Morris. It's great. Read, read all those books. Read Udo Hagen. Read it. But serious actor, avoid that at all costs. I don't think that. I think the technicians on a film set, production designer, for example, cinematographer who is choosing the composition and how that affects the psychology of what the audience feels. I believe that the director sometimes. The crew, those guys are craftsmen, and those guys are artists. An actor, I just don't feel that an actor can be an artist. I feel, and it's unfortunate. I wish I could. I wish I could think of myself as an artist, but I can't. I just can't. Never could. But it doesn't mean you can't approach the work with the need or desperation or passion of an artist. I do approach the work in that way. I just refuse to believe that an actor
I think you said once because you knew where you. I mean, we both talked about that. It's hard. I don't think either of us takes ourselves too seriously because we know where we came from, in a sense. And it's hard, you think of yourself as something else. You just realize that, come on, that's just a label.
I just, I know exactly. Yeah, I know where I came from. I know exactly where I came from. And it's ludicrous that I ended up where I ended up, and I feel very fortunate to have met the people that I've met, to have become such as this man here, my hero. Truly, that's the first. That's the first thing I said to him when I met him. Hi, I'm Johnny. You're my hero.
I knew I liked him then.
That is true.
I said, that's when I knew you were smart and really good.
No, my drug of choice is YouTube. My wife and I sit there and go through, hours of Lawrence and Christopher Hitchens and Richard Dawkins. And,